Alrighty, let's continue with our Wolverine sculpt. And yeah, so the details that I have to add are the stitches on the pants, the stitches on the boots. Yeah, it's not a lot of work today, just some finishing touches. And oh yeah, I just forgot, I still have to do a lot of the hair, so that is something that we still have to do. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. Just loading up some references on the other monitor. Okay, let's begin. Ajram La. Am I pronouncing your name correct? Hello, by the way. Yeah, how are you doing? We need to go quite high poly to add the stitches detail. Locklar. Hello, hello, how are you? Yeah, I don't have a camera today. That is because the battery died. But just sculpting an audio today. Can I still add stitches on this? No, it's still low poly. Let's go even higher. You have a Discord channel? Yes, I do, but I'm not really active inside. I'm active inside my school community, which is my own private community. And it is much better than Discord, actually. I also have free health sculpting course there. So you can join it via the link here. There's still not enough geometry that we want. Let me just refine the pocket. How's my day? Yeah, so far so good. Just woke up a few hours ago. I was not at home. And then I had to rush back home so that I could stream. It's still early today. It's 7:43 a.m. over here. Yeah, I just want to get this done today. And then follow this up with recording lectures for a course. What about you? How's your day? Hmm? This is a bit tricky to go over the same lines. But yeah, with the stabilized stroke, I think we can do this. What is the configuration of your PC? Yeah, it is Ryzen 5 3500X. It's 16 gigs of RAM, and yeah, the graphic card is GTX 1660. It's not the most high end of PCs, but it does the trick. This part of the sculpt, honestly, bro, it's the most boring part because it's a lot of work for very little details. At the early stages, you make a few strokes, you make a lot of progress. But this stage right here is just about keep going. How far do you want to take this? Master Brock, hello, how are you? Yeah, pleasure to see you here, man. How are you doing? Now we should add some detail to the back as well. I'm fine, thank you. The model is coming out very well. Yeah, thanks, man. It's a bit of a surprise for me too as well, because the one I usually don't spend so long on a single project. I've always been the impatient ones. I just want to sculpt as many things as I want. But recently I've just started to take my time, work on project for multiple days, and just make something for portfolio. And yeah, I just believe that when you come back to a sculpt or a model or any project with fresh eyes, if you give yourself the opportunity to do that, then yeah, a lot of things can happen. You spot so many mistakes the next day that you come around. You just produce a very nice result overall. There's Reno. Hello, 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 brother. How are you? Yeah, it's quite early to be streaming here. Actually, I wanted to record a course. I'm working on a retopology course, so I wanted to proceed with the recording for that. But my camera, the battery died, and it's charging right now. So I thought the best thing to do is probably just proceed with the Wolverine sculpt. I want to get this done today. Yeah, hence we are here streaming because my camera just died. How are you doing, by the way? Yeah, thanks, man. I'm excited about it too. I just think that there's so many misconceptions about retopology that I want to clear off. It's actually almost done. I've, what would you say? Yeah, I've uploaded the course. The retopology part is complete. I just need to cover the baking part and then update it inside the school. Doing fine, always training my mind. How do you train your mind? Do you meditate? Here is gonna be a while. I don't like sculpting hair personally. I just prefer bald characters. They're just so much easier to sculpt. You don't have to worry about the hair. Yeah, hair sculpting hair, making the hair. It's an art in itself. And yeah, just like the detailing phase, it's similar that you need to do a lot of work to get some progress with the hair. Now I work out now and push my limits. I quit my bad habits and all that bullshit. Good for you, brother. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, working out is that too. It's a mental exercise more than it is physical at times. I mean, the people who just go for endurance, that last rep, at that point is just about the mental strength. It's not about the physical strength anymore. Yeah, especially working out when you just wake up, it's ridiculously hard. Looking great. That torso is fire. Thanks. Yeah, I'm really happy with the torso as well. I wanted to capture the dad bod that the reference has. I just feel that this looks really cool. I mean, Wolverine is a character. If you look at him, he's not the most aesthetic character. He doesn't has the perfect body, the perfect face. He's not a model or something, but he's just pure badass. Yeah, that is why I was really intrigued by this reference and I wanted to sculpt this. Appreciate the feedback, man. Let's add some strands here as well. By the way, what do you think about semen retention? Okay. I actually think that it is great. The amount of energy that you have is impressive. And also how your mental fog just disappears. It's completely worth it. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the studies on it, but I've heard a lot about it. I haven't researched it yet, but I think it's a lot. If someone can perform semen retention right, it just says a lot about his discipline, because that desire, the sexual desire, right, it's just extremely strong. It's one of the strongest desires that any person can feel. And if you find yourself the ability to control that desire, I just believe you can control anything. That is why I believe it works. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it that much or seen the research. But yeah, I just believe that if a person can control that desire, he can control anything. If he's disciplined enough to not indulge in stupid activities, then yeah, he has the discipline to do anything. Because it is the strongest desire, one of the strongest desires any person can feel. It is. I mean, that is why you see people who do no fap and then they tell you the benefits. It increases my confidence, it makes me more productive, it clears my mind. It is all because if you can do that, if you can control that desire, then you have the confidence of, all right, I can do anything. Of course, that is what I believe. I have joined the school with the link, so I can post any 3D or just 3D challenge asked by the school. Of course, you can post any 3D. I mean, if you've joined, then you've in the classroom section, you're gonna find what would you call it? Yeah, you're gonna find the code of conduct, the start here course. That course will put you on track. It will familiarize you with school, and yeah, it will also teach you the basics of how to be productive. Because I believe that before you proceed any tutorial, any course, you need to fix your mindset, and it is something that is not talked about enough. So that is what I help the members who joined. The first thing that I help you with is mindset and how to be productive. After that, you will unlock the head sculpting course and you can get started with that. And now you can post anything. If you watch the start here course, it will ask you to post an intro, and currently the courses are going to be locked, so you need points to level up, and for that you need to make an intro post so that others can react to your post, and that will unlock you the head course. I don't like idle people joining. That is why I prompt you to break the ice. And then there's a premium version of the school where you get more courses, tighter community, a more serious community. You get one-on-one feedback, one-on-one help with anything that you want. And yeah, it's just a better version of what I have here. Yeah, just go ahead into the classroom section and you can find the start here course. It will tell you everything you need to get started. Yeah, I started to quit PMO 9 months ago. Oh, okay, PMO, porn masturbation. Okay, now I am clean from P for more than 3 months, and I'm going on full no PMO for half a month. I already see a lot of benefits. That is really good for you, bro. I am so happy to hear that. And considering your age, that is a very good realization to have this early. I mean, people your age, they are just wasting away their life, wasting away their time doing stupid things. And I'm really happy to read that. Keep up the good work, man. Stay hard. Yeah, good morning, good morning. Hello, Qasim. How are you, brother? I'm literally trying to finish my rent before leaving for uni. That is awesome, bro. Yeah, I'm excited to see your render. It just reminds me of what a difference, what you're excited for and what I used to be excited for when I used to go to uni. Not uni, when I used to go to school. So my morning grind for the before going to school was to open up GTA and then find this car called Bolo. All right, it was in GTA Online. You can find cars and you can sell these cars. And this car it sold for $9,000, and that was my morning grind. Just seeing you excited for this render just reminded me of it just reminded me of my Jerry days, which I'm really happy to see you excited for this. I'll send a sneak peek on Discord. Yeah, sure, sure, sure. Let's send it away. Let's see. Thanks for always supporting me, and I'm actually reading Stay Hard books. Damn, bro, that is really, really good for your age. Yeah, I'm super happy to hear that. What's your favorite book so far? Scent. All right, let's have a look. All right, looking fire, bro. I mean, this brightness might be a bit too much. It would look cool if it's one side or yeah. This I just feel that this one is a bit too much. These values are completely fine. The skin looks super super cool. Really really nice. Very natural. Damn, this is a real fire render. Yeah, with exception of this part. Sorry, bro. But yeah, this looks really, really cool. The sculpt, it just looks amazing. And yeah, you've captured the face better than I did. Oh, looking at this just reminds me that I still have to add the cigarette as well. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. The hair looks super, super cool. Super, super nice. This is your favorite piece so far that you've sculpted. I mean, my favorite piece of yours. It looks, actually, it looks, it's just insane, bro. I love it. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the rim light on the hair is a bit too extreme. Yeah, I feel the same way. The one on the arms and the other body, it was really, really nice. I mean, if we stay around those values, it would look really, really nice. Which I love the sneak peek, bro. How long do you have before you leave for uni? I think you can. I think you can do it. Now you're making me question my entire hair sculpting process, to be honest. Yours look so cool, bro. The man love Japan is good. I've got like 30 minutes, lol. I still have to do some photoshopping too. So I might do that when I'm back. Oh man, that's a bummer. I know how it feels to leave your project behind. But yeah, it is really, really good work, bro. Pure badass. Rudy. Hey, Rudy. Oh, it's morning for me here. It's 8:14 a.m. right now. So, good night to you. All right, this is gonna be a while. And it is exactly why I don't like sculpting here. Oh, Kasim, if you're still watching, how long did it take you to sculpt the hair? I'm just curious because they look absolutely insane. You are going to do a stream lighting Wolverine, right? Yeah, 100%. I mean, I wanted to I wanted to stream the entire process of this character, and yes, the lighting will be will be streamed. To be honest, there's been time when I just wanted to work on this character in between a break that I got, in between any work that I got, and I didn't because I made a commitment that I'm going to do this on stream. So I have to wait for that time block where I can sculpt without any interference, without any disturbance. And that is usually early in the morning. But at that time, I'm recording a course. Yeah, after, once that course is done, I'll have a bit more time to my disposal. I'll be honest, I'm watching your hair process and you're torturing yourself for no reason, bro. In my first block, I just made like 3 of the large hair clumps. Let me have a look at your hair again. Hmm. Okay. Then after that, with the draw shop, I just made more. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, bro. But yeah, this is a process that I have started. Now, there's just no going back. I think what I can do is let's try loading an alpha brush and then we can make the finer hair strands. Which I just love the result that you produced here. This looks absolutely insane. I love this. Okay, let's try loading up an alpha brush. So draw brush, texture, open, fuzz. Yeah, this something like this should work. Okay, I need to adjust the setting here. I'm not sure if this is the look that I want. Okay, it's not that bad. Which I think I need to play with the scale here. Now this way we can have a bit more randomness in the size. And yeah, I think I'm just way off the silhouette and everything that the reference has. And yeah, I just made the individual strands, and now I have to stick with them. Or I can just redo the entire thing, right? Bro, honestly, at this point, I just want to move on. I think I've already spent 6-7 hours on this sculpt. Oh, bro, I hope I have undos. That many undos. Okay, I did, thankfully. If I ran out of undos, right, bro, I would have been stuck in the middle. Well, it was a pleasure to be here as always, but now I'm going to read a bit before hitting the bed. Have a great day and good time sculpting. See you. Looking much better. Sure thing, brother. It's always a pleasure to have you here as well. Goodbye. Take care. And yeah, good night. Sleep tight. Appreciate your support. I made some changes that you mentioned, sent on Discord. If you could give feedback. Yeah, sure. Let's have a look. Okay, this looks much better. Yeah, definitely much better. Let me just have a look at the reference. Okay, are you trying to get the same lighting as the reference? Or do you want to freestyle a bit? Maybe get some of the best bits and improvise? Yeah, similar to the reference, but improvising would be nice too. Okay, just let me demonstrate really quickly. I mean, for this character specifically because he is a badass, I mean, I would personally bring the top light that you have over here a bit more forward so that this region is a bit more in shadow. Or maybe I would move it a bit to the right so that we have more depth here. I mean, with this lighting right now, you have a lot of details on the face, but because of the angle that it is placed, it looks a bit flat. I feel like I'm losing a lot of detail in the face. Yeah. Exactly. That is why. You can try adjusting the spread of your area light as well, because a higher spread means a softer light, and a softer light means that it will cover up more of the imperfections, the wrinkles, the bumps and the dents and everything. But if you have a sharper light, it will emphasize them a bit more. I mean, just as an example, let me do this really quickly. So let's make a light. Let's put a constraint on this to the face. Let's turn this to cycles, because yeah, you don't have the option to adjust the spread in Eevee for some reason. How about turn off the floor axis? Yeah, let's turn them off. Yeah, this is what I mean. So currently what your light feels like is, let's turn on the power a bit. Okay, so you see the muscles and everything. A bigger area light means a softer light, and now you see all of the features of the face, they are softened out. Okay, if I either make the light smaller or if I adjust the spread over here, so a lower spread will give me the same effect as well. You see the features of the face, they're starting to sharpen up a bit. With the lower spread, you're just going to get a lot more of the facial detail. Currently, your light feels like it's this way. It's a bit flat. What I like to do is, for portraits especially, is to bring the light up a bit so that I have a bit more shadow here, a bit more shadow under the nose, on the upper lip. This gives the face a lot more depth. And you can do the same thing by moving the light towards a bit towards the right as well. So shadow here, this gives the face a lot more depth. Yeah, presentation is everything, bro. If you're lighting, then presentation is everything. You see, this just gives a lot more mood to the scene, a lot more shadow. And on the shadow side, what I like to do is, this is where I like to have my rim light. And usually I just accompany it with a different color. Boom. This just looks more interesting in my opinion. Oh my god, I just cannot wait to render this myself. Yeah, let's get back to the grind on the hair. Yeah, if you're using a point light, then you can try playing with the radius. The radius does the same effect as the spread for the area light. So a lower radius will give you a sharper light, a bigger radius will give you a softer light. Do you sculpt the model in real scale? No, I just sculpt. I mean, scale is not a worry. But yeah, if you're sculpting for 3D printing, then the scale does matter, because when you export the STL file, it needs to be in real scale. Or if you don't do that, you can of course adjust it inside the 3D printing program, adjust the size of the STL file there. So it depends on your use case. Normally, if you're just sculpting, then it doesn't really matter. Sculpt in any scale. Real scale, it matters when you want to work on realistic stuff. So for example, if you're making an interior scene, or if you want to do some simulations, and then the light values, they depend a lot. So if everything is real scale value, you can get much more predictable results with HDRIs and everything. Also with simulations and everything, the playback time is gonna be nice. For example, if you're making a liquid sim and the scale is way too much, then the water is gonna feel a bit too slow. It's not gonna look natural. So yeah, real scale, it matters in some areas. Other than that, it's not a big concern. Yeah, also in shading. So for example, if you want to use, what do you call it? SSS, what was it for? What scattering? Subsurface scattering. So if you want to use subsurface scattering, then real scale values, they help. It helps light disperse better. If you're just sculpting, no worries, bro. But if you sculpt on a large scale, doesn't it generate more polygons when doing the remesh? I mean, when I use remesh, it's more intuitional. It's not a fixed value that I follow for steps. I mean, it's just based on intuition. And yeah, I think it does have an effect on that, but it's not so concerning. I just add more polygons when I feel like it, when I feel that I've squeezed out as much as I could. But even if you're working on a small scale, then you still need more polygons. I mean, for example, let me give you an example. Sculpting is basically the same as polymodeling. You're just doing it with brushes. That's the difference, right? So if I have a cube on this side and I want enough polygons so that I can make an inset and make this extrusion, right? I need a certain number of polygons. How many polygons do I need for this? Okay, so I need minimum 16 vertices to make this shape. Now it doesn't matter if it's this big or if it's this small. It's the same amount of vertices. Yeah, the remesh value can differ no matter what the scale was, but yeah, the number of polygons, they want to stay the same. Yeah, it does. I was making an environment sculpt once with accurate scale and then I remeshed. I got 55 million triangles and that was yeah, like I told you, bro. The remesh value can differ. Of course it will differ. But the number of polygons that you require for any certain scene, it is gonna be the same. So you just work on it based on intuition. I mean, this model is how many vertices? Okay, it is about 2 million vertices. Okay, if it was this small, it still requires 2 million vertices. It's just that the remesh value would be a bit different. $55 million triangles. That is awful a lot, bro. I mean, the Kratos sculpt that I worked on, it was 9 million and Blender was screaming. I couldn't light it. I couldn't perform any other operation on it. It was such a pain in the ass. I mean, I wanted to decimate it to get it to get it. What would you say? I decimated it so that I could get a STL file that I could send for 3D printing. And I could not even decimate that model. It just stuck on me. The workaround that I was able to find was I remeshed the entire thing. The remesh works better. So I remeshed it down to a few million polygons and then I performed the decimate modifier. Now my PC couldn't handle it, bro. It just froze on me and I had to force shut it like twice when I was trying to decimate it. By the way, Kasim, inside the weekly call, do walk me through the process of how you made the hair. I would love to observe your method. Yeah, thanks, buddy. I'm just regretting my life decisions now. This is taking painfully long, more than I expected it would. But I like the semi realistic result that this is producing. Oh boy. I have to do the other side as well. The strength of this is too high. It is because of the texture brushes that I was using before. Let's also just combine the face with the body. Oh, bro, I'm tired. But I want to get done with this. Let's combine this, Control J. And please, Blender, don't crash. All right, let's cross our fingers and hope this doesn't crash. Perfect. Thank you, Blender. All right, man. Gotta head out. Take care, man. See you in the call. Of course, thing, man. Have a great day. Have a good day at uni. Were you able to get the render? And yeah, see you in the call for sure. Hi, hello, Zach. How are you? I'm doing all right. Tired, but all right. Yeah, bro. Really similar situation right now. It just made me yawn talking about tired. Yeah, I think we can try doing a really rough lighting pass now. And if it looks good, I'll just conclude this project. I need something on the dog tag here. Let's just up the resolution on this one. Subdivide. Oh, select the entire thing. Yeah, what should we write on this? Let's just write Davinci. Okay, not bad. Yeah, here in the modifier, I just noticed we have a few beads less or just one bead less. We're scaling this down so that it's perfect. Okay, looks good now. Okay, let's now add some lights. Okay, for that I need a base for the dude to stand on. Let me cursor to world origin. G here. This should be fine. 3GZ. I think I missed an edge when I was beveling this. Yeah, I missed this edge. Let's add one basic light so that we have an understanding of the scene. And yeah, a trick is that instead of placing light and trying to continuously aiming it towards the model, what we can do is we simply create a light and add a constraint, the track to constraint, and track the body. So this way we can move around the lights without worrying about aiming it towards the model. Now it's such a time saver. And to get all of the color information that we have here, now this is not UV unwrapped or texture or anything. What we need to do is we need to add a color attribute node, and that just transforms all of this color information onto our model. Okay, I'm adjusting this for the wall for some reason. Let's do work on the body. Color attribute. Perfect. And yeah, another way. Just a sec. Let me turn off my alarm. Okay, so we have this information for the body. Now we want to do the same thing for everything else. And it's gonna be a bit tiresome. So what we can do instead is we can just select everything else. Select the body at last. Right, so the body should be yellow. And then press Control L and simply link materials. What this does is it's gonna get the information of everything from, yeah, it's the same material now. Okay, and for them, these parts, of course, we don't have any color information. That is why they are black. So what we can do here is go to sculpt mode, and over here in the color filter we can go to fill and simply select a gray color. Boom, we have the color there. Let me select the necklace, add color here, select this, add color here. And yeah, you can simply hover over different objects by pressing Ctrl Q. So instead of leaving object mode, instead of leaving sculpt mode, going back into object mode, what you can do is simply hover over any object, press Alt Q to change towards that object, to switch to that object without ever leaving sculpt mode. Yeah, we can do this for the claws. And for the base, let's just use a simple black color, but not full black. This full black, it never works in 3D. It is not a good choice because this black, it does not exist in the real world. So I just use some variation of a dark black, stuff like this. And yeah, we need, for the wall behind, we can just have a separate object. It doesn't really matter. Let me save it as a file. So data and Wolverine and lighting. Now lighting is really important, I believe, because presentation, it's everything. If you don't have good presentation, it doesn't matter how many hours you spent on your sculpt. If the presentation sucks, it's really unfortunate. And this material, I can name it metal, and we can have the same material for the claws. So select all of the metallic stuff. Let me select the claws. Select the buckle at last. Control L, materials. So all of them are metal now. Yeah, let's see how it looks in material preview mode. This is better. Okay, for the belt, what can we do for the belt? Can add a bit of bump to this, some noise to the bump, or we can try reducing the. Bro, I need to have a separate material. Okay, I don't want a really shiny belt. Now let's reduce the spread on this thing. And yeah, a really cool trick that you can use for the what? Yeah, if you have muscles and everything, I mean, I don't think I need it in this case, but you can still use it. Is that you add an ambient occlusion, you mix both of them, and you change the mix mode to blending mode to multiply. So what this does is it takes the information from this, what do you call this? Yeah, the ambient occlusion. So all of these muscle details that we have, and it multiplies it with the color information that we have up here. So without ambient occlusion, let me show you. It's a very subtle difference, but it is there. Yeah, just notice how the muscles look a bit crispier when I have the factor to 1, when I have the ambient occlusion or multiply. Okay, this is the effect that ambient occlusion has, and it looks really badass. So I'm gonna have it, but you're not pumped up to the full value. Yeah, just to build some interest, let's add another fill light. I mean the rim light. Let's change the color for more interest. Okay, not bad. And yeah, bro, one tip for lighting is after you have the constraints, just move your light around randomly, and then you can see different possibilities, and then you can stick with one that looks best. Okay, this looks really moody, and I'm digging this. But is it something I want for this corrector? this side looks really blended with the background and it's completely black. So in order to, not blend, bro, I'm just tired. My English sucks right now. In order to not have it blending with the environment, let's add another rim light. Let's change the color of this to a bit more cooler tone. Yeah, this looks interesting, but not what I really want. I think I'll play around with the lighting a bit more later, but this is good enough for an initial pass. I can also bring this light a bit towards the front so that it covers up the face here. And what we can do now is have a really low value. So it's just a hint of light here. And this looks really cool too. So, okay, so we don't have a camera in our scene as of now. And we should. A specular. I don't like how shiny these pants are. I think we can add a procedural texture for the pants so that it looks a bit more like denim. Let's create a noise texture. Let's add a color ramp. Factor to factor, color to color. And let's see what we have here. Oh, not the alpha, the color section, yeah. Let's start adjusting the values here. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, so this is more like a denim material now. Yeah, and I need some way of adding a bit more bigger marks. I want to have a worn out effect. Let's see if I can mix both of them. Mix, yeah, let's make this one lighter. Okay. And in the factor we need another noise texture. How is this one looking? This one we can reduce the scale. Look, we need less whites. Yeah, this should look better. Nice. Let's spread it out so that it feathers a bit more. Is body low poly? Yeah, bro, it's just 2 million vertices. That's it. Not too much. Oh, no, bro, it's 6 million. I mean, this is just a sculpt. It's very high poly. If we want to make this low poly, then we'll have to bake all of this information. We'll have to retopologize this. Okay, this is looking really interesting. How did you paint? Very well. This, I guess, he has no texture on body. Yeah, so he doesn't has any UV wrap or any texture to it. Basically, when you have a high poly sculpt like this one, you can go into sculpt mode and you can use this paint tool to paint it however you want. I hope this doesn't crash. Okay, it doesn't crash. And yeah, if you need this information when you're rendering, then all you need to do is to go into the material and you add this color attribute. So the color attribute is all the information that you painted on your sculpt. And yeah, this way you can color your model without having to UV unwrap it, without having to texture it. I made a separate tutorial on this as well. Yeah, it's on the channel. I think it's this one. Where is it? That's this one. There you have it. Just bump this up a bit. Let's add a camera to the scene. We don't have any camera. Yeah, I want this exact angle. So let's Control Alt 0. Why is it not working? I need to adjust some settings here. the view here is okay, 99.9. We need a similar focal length for the camera. Some highlights on the shoe as well. Okay, this is nice. Yeah, I think I'll end the stream here. I might experiment a bit more with the lights and everything, but for now, this is looking really nice. I'm quite happy with how this turned out to be. Yeah, this was a long project, bro. Yeah, I forgot the rings over here. Let's just select all of them. Let's give it the same material as the claws, which is the metal material. So just copying the material from the claws. Yeah, I want to add one level of subdivision to them. Okay, this looks fine. Is the background like looking a bit weird? This one. I think maybe not. For now, I'll just keep it. Let me just reduce the value of it so that it's a bit less subtle. So that it is subtle. Nice. Should we add a rim light over here? No, I don't think so. If we can add one light, and if somehow we get the eye to catch that light, it is gonna be insane. Is the eye catching any light as of now? No, it is not. But bro, if that happens, right, it is gonna be insane. Let me make another light. And let's see if we can have the eyes catch that light. Constraint, yeah, I'm gonna use the eye as a constraint this time. Let's just move this around. Okay, so it catches here. Can we make it catch on the other eye as well? Oh, yes. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Let's select the eyes and let's rotate them down so that they're a bit more pointed towards the camera. Yes. I want to separate this material, make it more shiny. Yeah, bro. I want the other eye to catch this as well, but let's not push it that far. I want to maintain this depth over here as well. So if it's just one eye, it's by me. What happened to the light on the body? I did have a light there. Let me duplicate this one more time. Let's select the torso for this one. Okay, let's not select anything at all. Let's aim it at the body. And let's move it down a bit. Spread. Where's the spread? Okay, I'm quite happy with this. And yeah, with that, let's just conclude this project. It's been a really long one. I'm just gonna go and get some sleep, maybe nap for a while, and then I have to get back to recording the topology course. All right. Thank you for tuning in, for being a part of this incredibly long journey. But yeah, has come to an end. Okay, bald Wolverine looks really badass. Okay, goodbye guys. Take care.